So in this lecture we will be discussing about global signaling. So in that we will see various methods which are used to improve the performance of the global signaling. So what do I mean by performance? Performance means what is the delay improvement, or you can say speed improvement, then power dissipation, area, and cross coupling noises. So why at all we need to work on this global interconnect improvement? Because we have already discussed in technology scaling that scaling has the worst effect on global wire, and global wires are very important since they are distributing sometime power supply and ground. They are distributing critical signals like clock, or they are distributing maybe timing reference signals, or you can say handshaking signals, or maybe they may be address buses or your data buses. So that is why they are very much important for the interfacing, because interfacing will lead to overall performance of the system on chip. So that is why it is very important. So we'll see here various way to model this interconnect network, starting from various methods to reduce the overall wiring interconnect, you can say length of the global wire, then improving on delay, speed, area, and power dissipation, the effect of wire sizing, spacing, and shaping. Then we will see the tapered buffer, which is used to deal with the large capacitive loads. And then at the end we will see various regenerative repeaters which are inserted, and how they are improving the coupling noise, and how they are improving the overall performance. So various ways. And then we will see gate sizing to improve the coupling noise in this chapter. And then at the end we will see the comparison table of among various methods which are there to improve the global interconnect performance or global wire. So this slide already we have discussed global interconnects which are degraded in the performance with this scaling, and little bit they improve when we insert the regenerative repeaters. So they are shown with the you can say this blue wire without repeaters, and this green wire is with repeater, and other two wires they are showing the effect on device effect on technology scaling on device performance, and you can say the local interconnect. So both are not improved, and that is why this whole discussion is based on that fact. So these are the parameters which are important. Hello? Huh? શું થયું મેડમ એ બોલો, શું થયું? હા હા. So now then we'll be discussing about how to model the global wire. So there are various trees which are there to model the wire. So that we'll be discussing. Here you can see the various spanning trees or shortest path algorithms which are also used in computer networking. They are applicable here. Using that we are reducing the overall length of the particular global wire. So this is the example. So this is various trees, various ways or methodologies which are there for modeling of the global wire. One is A tree, where resistance and inductance is modeled. Then P tree, so sync permutation is allowed here. And C tree is the method in which sinks are clustered according to spatial, temporal and polarity properties. So this is how we can model the tree in order to better understand and better deal with the global. So then we will see here the effect of wire sizing. So there is always a trade-off between delay, bandwidth, power of the global interconnect. We'll see in the detail in the lecture. Then you can see here the coupling noise between aggressor and repeater. So by increasing the distance between the two, we can reduce the coupling noise, but that has adverse effect on area and delay. So if wire width increase, inductive coupling noise increases, as we can see in this diagram, that then effect of coupling capacitance already we had discussed. By increasing the size, we can increase the, you can say, by increasing the width of the this, and by increasing the spacing, we can little bit deal with the coupling noise, but it will increase maybe sometime delay and area and power dissipation. So inductive noise, what will happen, it is a long range phenomena, as we have already earlier discussed, and it will decrease logarithmically, while capacitive linearity spacing, while capacitive coupling will increase linearly. So very easy to deal with capacitive coupling, but difficult to deal with inductive coupling once it is there. So another is wire shape we can change by like this, that is called exponential taper. Then we will see how to deal with large capacitive load. So that is called tapering. So the tapering buffer design we will see, and so here is the tapered buffer. So a chain of inverters are used whenever large capacitive load is to be driven, and two different scientists, Lin and Lindholm, have optimized this, and Jagger has also optimized. So that optimized method we discuss in the class. So it is related to number of stages and ratio between load capacitance and input capacitance, that is known as M. So F is tapering factor. So if optimized, then minimum delay can be achieved. So we can improve the speed of the global wire using this when we need to drive large capacitive load, and the delay will be calculated as this formula, N into TPO, and number of stages into TPO is one stage delay into M. M is the ratio between CO and CL and of the nth root. So that much will be the delay. So another scientist named Jagger has given another idea that he has optimized. So you can say for M value 10, 100 and 1000, number of inverters will be between 2 and 3. And not more than that stages are required. Even though if you use those number of stages higher, let's say 3, 4, 5, 10, 15, then it will not give any improvement in delay, or you can say speed. So now we will see here regenerative repeaters, which are used to improve the global wire performance. So you can see here in between here the repeater is inserted. So what will happen when we insert the repeater, you can say so this is the methodology where to insert the repeater, how to calculate the distance, and this is the repeater insertion in tree structure interconnect. So here first will be critical load. So splitting long distance interconnect, we are inserting the regenerative repeaters at regular interval. If you want to drive large capacitive load, then we are using the tapering buffer, or you can say distributed interconnects, which we have discussed. And if we want to drive a inverted load, then we can use the inverted buffer also. So this is the end of this discussion of the there is few topics still. Repeater insertion is shown here, which improve the noise, and this is staggering of the repeater. So you can see here the repeater buffer is inserted between these two, right? So here also middle of these two will be buffer insertion. Here also if you see, the buffer is inserted between middle of these two buffer. So this will improve further the performance. So this is the passive shielding, and this is active shielding. Passive shielding, what will happen with this aggressor, we are keeping VDD and ground nearby line, we are keeping, so that it will improve the coupling noise. Not only that, we can also use the active shielding, in which we are reducing the size of the we are keeping the, or you can say we are clustering those wires which are switching at the same speed and in the same direction to reduce the coupling noise. So then we will see finally this effect of gate sizing. So you can reduce the size of the driver, or we can increase the size of the victim in order to improve the noise. And then finally we will see the summary. So what is the impact of wire sizing, wire spacing, tapering buffer, repeater insertion, then passive shield insertion, active shield insertion, and gate sizing on the delay, coupling noise, power and area. So thank you very much.